Shazam! What a great looking audience. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Karen Hill Hatter Theater and this year's production of Best Christmas Pageant Ever by Barbara Robinson. Today's show is proudly presented by the Frankfort High Drama Club. We are very excited to celebrate another year of this annual Frankfort Christmas tradition. We would like to take a moment to ask you to turn off or to silence your cell phones. In addition, we'll be asking you to break the music off the party. Also, due to the fact that actors will be exiting and entering through the aisles, we're asking you to keep them clear and free of objects. Besides, you never know when guys might bite. Please take a moment to review our 24 to 25 season sponsors in your program. Please support the businesses that help support the program. We thank you for coming. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
The Herdmans were the worst kids in the whole history of the world. They lied and stole and smoked cigars, even the girls, and talked dirty and hit little kids and cussed their teachers, and took the name of the Lord in vain, and set fire to French shoemakers both broken down too.
And that's not all. Somebody sent 5 dozen donuts to the firemen, and the Herdmans ate them all. And what they couldn't eat, they shoved in the pockets and down the front of their shirts.
And they wrote this really dirty word on the back of Naomi while it was her turtle. So now Naomi gets to get to the Wednesday show. Another one laughing.
What was the word?
And that's not all. They did it with fluorescent paint, so it glows in the dark. When you can't even see the turtle, you can still see the word.
And they put tadpoles in the school's drinking fountain. And Miss Barnes swallowed 2 or 3 by mistake. Someone yelled, "Mildred, stop! You're drinking tadpoles!" But it was too late.
Well, did you get sick?
Not right away.
And that's not all. Now I'm going to tell you about the Christmas pageant and what they did to them. There were 6 of them. Ralph, Imogene, Leroy, Clyde, Ollie, and Lex. And they went through Woodrow Wilson School like the South American districts for university. And they went through the town the same way, simply wearing things that wouldn't get anything. So it was hard to get away from them. There was only one safe place.
Sweet hour of prayers, sweet hour of prayers, because there are no Herdmans there. But Jesus loves us, as they say, he keeps them miles away.
That's my little brother Charlie. That's what he said when the Sunday school teacher asked him what his favorite thing about church. Charlie said no Herdmans. That made the teacher mad because all the other kids said nice things about God, Jesus, and good feeling. But old Charlie told the truth. No Herdmans.
I don't care what everybody else said. That's what they really thought. All those other things about God and Jesus and life. What the really good thing about church is that there aren't Herdmans there.
It's not very Christian sentiment.
It's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Is he the worst one, Leroy?
They're all the way. Well, Ralph is the biggest, so if Ralph gets you, that doesn't matter. Ralph is neither as bad as she fights.
I'm sorry I asked. Just stay away from all of them.
That's what I said. Stay away from the church.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd.
Tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Everybody is in it. Think how I would feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own children weren't in the pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, actually, I didn't plan to go. You know how crowded it always is. They can use my seat. I'll just stay at home, put on my bathrobe. Relax. There's never anything different about the Christmas pageant.
Well, there's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie's going to wear your bathrobe.
You just thought that up, Grace.
Why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. Elmer's sick of being Joseph all the time. Just because his mother's the minister, nobody wants to be Joseph. No one wants to be Jesus.
What are you going to be?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Well, why can't Charlie be in it?
Because I can't sing.
From what I've heard in the past, that's not a serious drawback. A way the major always says to me like a closet full of mice.
What are you wearing? Bed sheets.
You know, Mrs. Armstrong works very hard to make sure everyone has a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, Miss Armstrong just likes to run things.
They're right, of course. She directs the pageant. She's chairman of the bazaar. She does the potluck supper. I think Helen Armstrong would preach the sermon if anyone would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes.
Well, maybe we should try to manage the hospital, because that's where she is. I saw George at the drugstore this morning. He told me his wife broke her leg this morning. She'll be in traction for 2 weeks and later until the first of the year.
The first of the year? Why, they'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas?
Well, she's in charge of the pageant. She's in charge of the bazaar. I feel sorry for Helen, but who's going to do all those things?
Yes, I'll take over the bazaar, and if you'll do the potluck supper, I don't know what in the world we'll do about the pageant, unless, how about Grace? I just can't, Irma. I've got company all Christmas Eve. How about Grace? Hello, Grace?
Bob,
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't what you would call four-star entertainment. Miss Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that ever happened to her. It was always the same old Christmas story, the same old carols, the same old Mary and Joseph, and that's only another December. And
Tell you again, Grace, how important it is that we give everyone a chance. Here's what I do. I always start with Mary, and I tell them that we must choose our Mary carefully because Mary was the mother of Jesus.
I know that, Helen.
Yes, and then I tell them about Joseph and that he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. That's how I explain that.
what do you think traction is?
No such luck. Beth can eat salt and pepper and napkins.
And I tell them that there are no small parts, only small actors.
You'll leave some for the rest of us, won't you, Charlie? How can you let him do that to you, day after day? Grace, where's the chicken?
It's still in the oven.
I'll get it.
We'll have to get someone to push the rehearsals on. Bob could do that. And he could keep an eye on the shepherds too. Oh, and another thing about the angel choir. Do not let them wear lipstick. Just get that because it's a light and then you put lipstick and it looks terrible. So you have got to
I have to go home. There's someone at my door. Someone's at my door, Helen. I'll talk to you later. Yes, I'm coming.
Lady, can I get some supper around here? I haven't had a square meal in 3 days.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, it's you.
I was very lonely that day.
Well, I guess Helen feels very lonely at the hospital.
Not as long as the telephones are working.
And getting someone to shove the baby angels on and make the shepherd shut up.
Yes, she suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
And Grace, don't just get everybody's baby for Jesus. Get a quiet one. Better get two if you can. That way, if one turns out to be fussy, you can always just switch them.
My mother didn't pay much attention to Miss Armstrong. She said Miss Armstrong was stuck in the hospital with nothing to do but think of the problem. And there weren't going to be any problems this year, of course. My mother didn't count on the Herdmans. That was Charlie's fault.
Hey, Leroy, give me back my lunch.
Sure, kid, here.
You stole my dessert again.
How'd you know?
Because it isn't in here.
What was it?
2 Twinkies.
That's right, that's what it was.
Leroy, you think it's so great to steal my dessert every day? I don't even care if you steal my dessert. I'll even give you my dessert. I get all the dessert I want at Sunday school.
Oh yeah? What kinds?
All kinds. Cupcakes, cookies, big wheels, Twinkies,
You're a liar.
and cupcakes, and ice cream,
Who
and
gives it to you?
the minister.
Why? Is he crazy?
No, I think he's rich.
Sunday school. Huh.
That was the wrong thing to tell the Herdmans, and sure enough, the very next Sunday, they were in Sunday school, just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
What's a play? What's a pageant? It's a play. Like on TV, what's it about? Jesus. Everything here is. And it's about Mary. Mostly it's about Mary. Who's that? I am. Well, probably I am. I know the part.
Come on, Beth, Charlie, you and David, come. Now, this won't take very long if you all settle down. Now, today we're going to be deciding who play the main roles in our Christmas pageant. But remember, everybody will have an important part to play. You know what Mrs. Armstrong always tells you? There are no small parts, only small actors. Isn't that what Miss Armstrong always says?
That's what she always says, but she never says what it means.
Don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means the short kids have to be in front of the angel choir, or else nobody can see them.
Well, not exactly. It really means that the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is as important as Mary.
Well, naturally, that's what you would think, Alice. I think Jesus is more important. I still think it means the short kids have to be in the front row.
Girls, everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. Now, is everyone here? Beverly, we just go step out in the hall and see if anyone else is coming.
Yes, Miss Bradley.
Now, you little children will be our angels, so please remind your mothers that you'll need bed sheets. People in the angel choir will need bed sheets too, and if any of you shepherds have bathrobes at home. Now, what's the matter? Oh, well, let's make some room there for the Herdmans. Now, what happened to Beverly?
I think she went home. I think she got sick.
Did she say she was sick?
She just left. All I did was I just said, "Hi, Beverly," and she just left.
I see. Well, will someone please remind Beverly about the rehearsals the next 4 Wednesdays after school? Plan to be here for everyone.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick. Of course, Mary and Joseph must absolutely come to every rehearsal.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, Elmer.
Well, Beverly got sick and we haven't even started yet.
We don't know that Beverly got sick. Now, I want you all to think about Mary. We all know what kind of person Mary was. She was quiet and gentle and kind, and the girl who plays Mary should try and be that kind of person. Who would like to volunteer for that part? Do you have a question, Imogene?
No, I want to play Mary. And Ralph over there, he wants to play Joseph.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, I'll just make a list of volunteers for these parts, and then we'll all decide who it should be. Ralph Herdman. Who else? Did you raise your hand, Elmer?
No.
Very well. Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph. Now, Imogene has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. What other names can I put on my list? Janet, Roberta, Alice. Don't you want to be Mary?
No, I don't want to.
I'll be Mary.
Shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You be a wise man.
Well, the wise men are usually boys. Of course, they don't have to be, and we could always...
I'll be a wise man. Me too. Claude, do you want to be a wise man?
What's a wise?
Just raise your hand.
What's left to be?
Some angel.
I'll be that. What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord who comes to the shepherds. There, we do have some volunteers after all. Yes, Hobie, would you like to be a wise man?
No, I just wanted to say I can't be a shepherd. We're going to build it up.
Why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered. My mother doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Why not?
I don't know. She just said don't be a shepherd. I want to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. What is the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman hits the orange.
Why, Gladys isn't going to hit anybody. The angel of the Lord just comes to the shepherds and tells them Jesus is born.
And hits them.
Elmer, that's ridiculous. And I don't want to hear another word about it from anyone. No shepherds may quit or get sick. Now, it's all for today, boys and girls. You can go. But I expect to see everyone back here on Wednesday at 6:30. Alice, what in the world is wrong with you? Why didn't you raise your hand? I don't know. You don't know, Alice. I expected you to.
Miss
volunteer.
Bradley, help! Help!
Mary?
Miss Bradley, get Gladys off of me! Miss Bradley, help! Miss Bradley! Oh, come on, Alice. I don't know.
I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogene would have killed me. She said, if you open your mouth to raise your hand, you'll wish you didn't. And I said, I'm always married at the Christmas pageant. And she said, go ahead then. And next spring when the pussy willows come out, I'll stick a pussy willow so far down your ear that no one can reach it. And it'll sprout there, and it'll grow, and you'll spend the rest of your life with the pussy willow bush growing out of your ear.
You know she wouldn't do that.
She would too. Herdmans will do anything. You just watch. They'll do something terrible and ruin the whole pageant, and it'll be your mother's fault.
Jane and the McCarthys. Did you hear about the... Well, it must be Grace's fault somehow. How else can the six of them end up in a Christmas pageant when they ought to be in jail?
Vera, Ernest Slocum, I just heard that Imogene Herdman is going to be married in the Christmas pageant. And is that a fact? All six of them? Vera, I live next door to that outfit, and I'd rather live next door to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogene Herdman? What kind of a child is that to be Mary, the mother of Jesus? Where was Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know. She was what? Visiting shut-ins? Well, I'm shut-in. She wasn't visiting me. Can't she just send them away? Well, if I'd been up and around, this never would have happened.
Don't tell me. I'm on your side. The car's over there.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman alive who can run a Christmas pageant. I made up my mind just to do the best I could under the circumstances, but now I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant we've ever had. And I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hands and nobody else did. I don't care.
Good for you, Grace. The car is over there.
And you're going to help me.
Does that mean...
You have to go. Now, the inn is back here off stage, and the shepherds will come in and gather around the manger.
Where'd all the shepherds come from anyway? What's an inn?
It's like a motel where people go to spend the night.
What people? Jesus?
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
To pay their taxes.
At a motel?
Shut up, Ollie. Everybody shut up. I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning?
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogene, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible? Oh, well, that's what this play is, so I better read it to you.
I don't believe that, do you? That they've never heard the Christmas story?
Why not? They don't even know what a Bible is, and they've never been to church in their whole life till your dumb brother told them we got refreshments. Now we have to waste all this time for nothing.
All right, now, there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary, his wife, being great with child.
Pregnant. She was pregnant.
All right, we all know Mary was pregnant.
I don't think it's very nice to say Mary was pregnant.
Well, she was.
I just don't think your mother should say Mary was pregnant. It's better to say great with child. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
And wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn.
My God, they didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, nobody knew the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was the matter with Joseph that he didn't tell them they're pregnant and everything?
What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, Mary didn't have a bed in the barn, so they had to use whatever there was. What would you do if you had a new baby and no bed to put the baby in?
We put glass in a bureau drawer.
Well, there you go. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you had to use something else.
But we had a bed. Only Ollie was in. He wouldn't get out. He didn't like Gladys much. Remember how he didn't like Gladys?
That's pretty smart of Ollie not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Anyways, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough for animals.
Where to wadded up clothes?
The what?
Set in there. She wrapped him up in wadded up clothes.
Swaddling clothes. People used to wrap babies up very tightly in big pieces of material to make them feel cozy.
My God! They tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was child welfare?
The child welfare is at our house every 5 minutes.
There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem. I'll say there wasn't.
And there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them in the glory of...
Shazam!
What?
Out the black night with horrible vengeance, the mighty Marvel.
I don't know what you're talking about, Gladys.
The mighty Marvel in Amazing Comics. Out the black night with horrible vengeance.
This is the angel of the Lord who comes to the shepherds.
Out of nowhere, right? In the black night, right?
Well, in a way.
Shazam!
Now, When Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east, bearing gifts of gold and frankincense
What's that?
and myrrh.
What's that?
Well, they were special things, spices and precious oils.
Oil? What kind of present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare.
Were they the welfare, the wise men?
Well, they were kings and they were sent.
Well, it's about time somebody important showed up. If they're kings, they can get the baby out of the barn until the innkeeper were to get off.
They were sent by Herod, he was the main king, and he wanted to find Jesus and have him put to death.
My God, he was just born. They would have killed a baby?
Who's Herod in this play?
Herod isn't in the play.
Well, somebody better be Herod. Let Charlie be Herod. And he says, go give me that baby. And they say, okay, because he's the king and all.
Then they don't do it and they go back and they Herod!
I'm not going to be Herod.
No one is going to be Herod.
No. Joseph gets the shepherds together and they go wipe out Herod. See? They're going to put one in and it's going to be me and then I'm going to get killed.
Forget about Herod. There is no Herod.
And then I run away with the baby until the fight's over.
Somebody ought to fix the innkeeper. Gladys, you're about the innkeeper.
I can't. I'm an angel.
Well, I would just stay in a barn. I'd go get a room.
She said there wasn't any room.
Then I'd throw somebody out. I tell them, I got this baby. It's the middle of winter, so either get out or move over.
I go after old Herod.
I'd send the angel after. You could just use her electric finger and turn into a pile of matches.
Yeah, that. What's the name of the play anyway? She never said.
Christmas pageant.
That's no name. That's what it is. I know a name. I know a name. I call it Revenge at Bethlehem. Revenge at Bethlehem. The Herdmans thought the Christmas story came right out of the FBI. Luckily, they picked out the right villain. It was Herod they wanted to gang up on and not the baby. But the baby Jesus doesn't have a name. It's supposed to be Eugene Slocum. This Slocum said she was going to let Abraham Herdman get her hand. So we didn't have a baby Jesus. That bothered my mother. She kept trying to scratch the baby, even at the last word. What do you keep writing in that book?
It's like a diary.
No, it's not. It's all about the Herdmans. Imogene curses and swears all the time. Ralph talks about sexy things. Miss Bradley called Mary pregnant. Miss Gladys Herdman drinks communion wine. It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. She drinks it. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple. And if you shake the birthday bank, it doesn't make a sound because they stole all the pennies out of it. And every time you go into the ladies' room, the whole air is blue, and Imogene Herdman is sitting there in a Mary costume, smoking a cigar.
They're all based down for what?
For my mother, and Reverend Hopkins, and the Ladies' Aid Society, and anybody else who wants to know what happens when the whole Christmas pageant turns out to be a big mess.
All right, Beth, will you and Alice please come up here so we can get started? Now, this is our last rehearsal, and today we're going to
Grace, I just wanted to tell you that we're all down in the kitchen making applesauce cake. We'll try not to bother you too much. I'm guessing this is your dress rehearsal?
It's supposed to be. Oh, Edna, didn't I hear that your niece had a new baby a month or so ago? A little girl.
Yes, she's 5 weeks old.
Well, I wonder how it'd be if I were to call your niece and ask her if we could borrow
Grace,
her.
no. I'd make up some lie and tell you that the baby is sick or cranky, but the truth is, she's perfectly happy, healthy, and beautiful, and we all want her to stay that way. So we certainly won't be giving her over to Imogene Herdman. I'm sorry, Grace.
Miss Bradley, you have my little brother for Jesus.
I didn't know you had a new baby, David.
He's not new. He's 4 years old. But he's double-jointed, so he could probably switch up.
Well, I don't think.
I'll get us a baby.
How can you do that?
There's always a few babies outside in carriages outside the supermarket. I'll get one of them.
Imogene, you can't just walk off with somebody's baby. It's fine. I guess we'll just use the doll. And Imogene, you know Mary didn't wear earrings.
I have to wear these. I just got them pierced, and if I don't wear them, they'll close in.
Well, they won't close in an hour and a half. What did the doctor tell you to do?
What doctor?
Well, who pierced your ears?
Gladys. I'll bet she did it with an ice pick. And I'll bet her ears turn black and fall off.
It's fine. I guess we'll just find something smaller. Now, is that your costume? Is that really what you're going to wear? You're all supposed to have your costumes on today.
We can't find our halos. Jenna's got my robe. Our mother doesn't have any white sheets. Can we wear a sheet with flowers on it? Butterflies, flowers, butterflies, flowers, butterflies, flowers. I haven't got any costume. I was never a shepherd before.
You have to wear your father's bathroom. That's what I have to do.
He hasn't got a bathroom.
What is he hanging around the house in?
All right. Pretend you're wearing your costumes.
Are we going through the whole thing?
Yes, of course. But first, we'll just practice the entrances. So go where you're supposed to be, and we'll start with the shepherds. Just read the last few words, Maxine.
Shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night.
Music, shepherds.
And the angel of the Lord appeared to them and...
Shazam!
No, Gladys.
Out the black night with whirlwind and
No. Go on, Maxine.
a multitude of the heavenly hosts.
Music, angels. Music, wise men.
I've got the baby here. Don't touch him. I named him Jesus.
No, don't say anything.
Let go.
Don't
Give
say
it
anything.
back.
Stand here and make a lovely picture for us to look at. We think about Christmas and weddings, so put it all back.
I don't get to say anything. Some angel tells me what to name the baby. I would have named him Bill. Oh, what a terrible thing to say.
What angel was that? There's angels all over the place. Was that Gladys?
No, Gladys brings the good news to the shepherds.
yeah! Unto you a child is born.
Unto me, not them, me. I'm the one that had the baby.
No. It just means that Jesus wants to all of us. Unto all of us, the child is born.
Mary didn't to name her own baby. What did the angel do? Just walk up to her and say, name him Jesus?
Yes.
I know what the angel said. He said, his name shall mean Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. My God, he wouldn't get all the first grade if he had to write all that.
Miss Bradley, what should we do?
Should we start over?
5 minutes, Maxine. 5 minutes.
We never did start over. We never did go through the whole thing. The 5 and the 3 and the 15 and the 60 tournaments and the whole life with the stars and the 8. Miss McCarthy saw all the smoke. She called the fire trucks, and they came right away.
Why in the world did you call the fire department about a little smoke?
It was a lot of smoke. The ladies' room was full of thick smoke.
It couldn't have been. You just got excited, and now look. The church is full of firemen, and the street is full of baby angels crying, and shepherds climbing all over the fire truck, and half the neighborhood. Didn't you know it was cigar smoke?
No, I didn't know it was cigar smoke. I don't expect to find cigar smoke in the ladies' room of the church.
Alice Wingleton's mother was mad too. All ladies hate society smack. And Reverend Hopkins said she didn't know what to think.
I've been on the telephone all day, and I can't make heads or tails of it. Some say set fire to the ladies' room. Others say set fire to the kitchen. Beryl Windlekin, because all they do is talk about sex and underwear.
That was Hobie Clark talking about underwear, and they didn't set fire to anything. The only fire was back in the kitchen where all the applesauce cake burned up.
The whole church is in an uproar. I don't know, Grace. Jesus said, suffer the little children and come unto me. But I don't think he meant the Herdmans. Grace, don't you think we should just cancel the pageant?
I'll bet that was Helen Armstrong's idea.
We could blame it on the fire. It makes a good excuse.
I'll bet that was Ed McCarthy's idea.
Everyone seems to think it's going to be a
Disaster? Well, they're wrong. It's going to be the best Christmas pageant we've ever had.
But Grace, I don't think anyone's going to come see it.
I didn't think so either, and neither did Charlie, but we were wrong. On Christmas Eve, the old church was jam-packed. Everybody came to see what the Herdmans did.
Now wait till I turn the lights on and watch your step.
I can't even see where I'm going. I don't know what in the world we expect to do with this thing.
I thought it might look like a palm tree. I see now that it doesn't. You know, I have no idea what in the world's going to happen tonight. We've never once gone through the whole thing, and the Herdmans still think this is some kind of spy story. This might be the first Christmas pageant in history where Joseph and the wise men get in a fight and Mary runs away with the baby. Where are the kids?
All the kids in the world are down in the basement putting on bed sheets.
I mean our kids.
We're here.
Well, it's getting late. Go put your costumes on.
It's just gonna be awful, you know. They look like the trick or treat, all dirty and fastened together with safety pins, wearing their moldy old sneakers. Mary and Joseph, I mean, they look like refugees or something.
Well, that's what they were, Mary and Joseph. They were refugees in a way. They were a long way from home, didn't have any place to stay, didn't know anybody. They were probably very cold and hungry and tired, messy.
I don't know about cold and hungry, but they sure were messy.
Oh dear, do you think I should?
I think you worry too much. Now, I'm going to push baby angels on stage. I'm going to hand shepherds the crooks and push them on stage. When do I do all that?
Just follow the script.
Baby angels, shepherds, wise men. It doesn't seem to say here where the fire engines come in.
Oh!
Just kidding.
Janet, I want you and Roberta down front where you can help with the baby angels. You all come on stage, please. I just want to see how you look. Gladys, where's your halo?
Our cat buried it. Listen, I think I ought to say something besides the baby name. Why would they all get up and tear off after some baby they don't even know? I ought to tell them it's Jesus, and I ought to tell them where he is.
No, Gladys, you tell them, unto you a child is born. And that's all you tell them. Now let's all go backstage and try and be quiet while people are coming in. And good luck.
Miss Bradley, actors don't say good luck. Actors say break a leg.
Yes, I know that, Alice, but this case I don't think. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's just a theatrical setting. It doesn't really mean break a leg for all or anyone else. And Imogene, try to remember that that's a baby. And for tonight anyway, it's the baby Jesus.
A decree went out that all roads should be taxed, and Joseph went to Bethlehem with his wife Mary, who was great with child.
And while they were there, they brought forth their firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
Well, he could have had colic just like any other baby. I don't care. It looks awful and they look awful.
So what? They came a long way from home, they have no place to sleep, and now they have a new baby to worry about.
Who, Ralph and Imogene?
No, Mary and Joseph.
And in that region, there were shepherds in a field, keeping watch over the flocks by night.
And the angel of the Lord appeared to them.
And the glory of the Lord shone around about. They were sore afraid when the angel of the Lord appeared to them and said, "Be not."
Hey! 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 Unto you a child is born. It's Jesus. He's in the barn. Go see him. Go on. He's over there. Go on. There.
And
suddenly there was a multitude of the heavenly host, saying, Glory to God, and on the highest, and on earth, peace among men.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous hymn. Gloria in excelsis Gloria in excelsis
When Jesus was born, they came wise from the east to worship him, bring gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
We three kings of Orient tide, bearing gifts we traveled so far, fields and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light.
They look awful too. And what's that Leroy's got?
It's a ham.
A ham? I'll bet they stole it.
No, I think it's the ham from their welfare basket.
You mean it's their own ham? Then they must hate ham.
Well, even if they hate ham, Alice, it's the only thing they've ever given away in their whole life. Being warned in a dream that they should not return to their own country, the wise men departed another way. The shepherds also departed, praising God for all that they had seen and heard. But Mary kept all of these things and pondered them in her heart.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round young virgin, mother and child.
Could you believe that was Imogene, Herdman, and the rest of them? This is the best Christmas pageant we've ever had, and I'm not sure why, but I think it's because of them. Could that be?
Oh, I always get weepy about the pageant. I guess it's the children and carols and all. But you're right, this was the best one, and it should have been the worst.
There was just something different.
Well, the angel of the Lord was different.
Yes, but I like that. Lots of spirit. Most of the time you can't even hear the angel of the Lord. I must find Grace and tell her.
Oh, I wish I would have let her have Eugene to be baby Jesus.
Who was baby Jesus?
Why, it was a doll.
I don't think so, Irma. That was no doll.
Well, it did seem real.
It did seem real as if it might have just happened that way. We all thought the pageant was about Jesus, but that was incorrect. It was about mother and father who were told on trouble and arriving from the east and coming from the Jersey some rich friends. Because of the Herdmans and the Holy Storm, Imogene birthing the baby, wise men bringing such a source of present, leaving blood. He's in the barn, go see him, so the shepherds didn't have to stumble all over the countryside. But I guess it wasn't like that for Imogene. For her Christmas pageant should have to be all wonder and mystery, as if she just caught on to it and came out. After the party, time we had party and baby. But the Herdmans didn't stay. They didn't have any cocoa, they didn't walk off with all the cookies, and they wouldn't even take their candy.
I guess that's about it. Any kids left downstairs?
No, everyone's gone home. You know you have your bathrobe on. You aren't going to wear it, are you?
Why not? Maybe people will think I was a shepherd. I wouldn't mind being taken for a shepherd in this Christmas pageant.
Yes, you would. Some old lady came up and hugged me after the pageant because I was a shepherd. Should I bring this ham?
It's the Herdman's ham from their welfare basket. Leroy said, it's a present, and you don't take back a present.
Leroy said that they must hate hams.
You and Alice Windle-Kid.
What about the lights?
They're on a timer. They go off at midnight.
That's not far away. It's almost Christmas.
Almost Christmas, kids.
Almost Christmas, Charlie.
And it came to pass in the days of.
And there were shepherds abiding.
A multitude praising God.
I bring you good tidings of great joy.
Hey! 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 Unto you a child is born!
Our directors, Elizabeth and Tippett, come up on stage? Or can somebody go find them if they're not in here?
Come on.
Oh, there they are. We got you all each some gifts to thank you all for your hard work on this show.
Thank you, Mr. Tippett.
Thank you.
very hard putting this show together for us, and I know it was a long process, especially for Elizabeth, because we were out blocking in the front hallway for the majority of the show. We weren't in here, and she worked so hard to make sure everything went well for us, and she put the show together very well. So we just want to say thank you all.
I want to say something really quick. Hold on. Just a sec. Mr. Tippett is... let's try.
This is what Elizabeth Tippett had to deal with.
Thank you. Can you hear me a little bit? Okay. So I just want to say really quickly that I'm really here just to guide and to support. If you're one of my Frankfort High School students, can you raise your hands real quick? These Frankfort High School students, we're a student-led program, and these guys really do a tremendous amount of work to make us successful. We couldn't do it without them. I'm only one adult. We have a few adults to kind of help us around, but these guys really carry the load. They really pick up and do a lot of, I asked them to do some adult responsibilities, especially Elizabeth, who has directed the show as a student. So I couldn't do it without them. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of all the students, but particularly my high school students for stepping up and leading this production. So thank you, guys.
Just thinking up the station.